We're thinking at the moment, leading up to the summer, about living maturely as we follow Jesus. I want you to have a think of the different communities that you're involved in. Think of all the different communities that you're involved in. And just shout them out, and I'm going to write them up here. Sorry? School, yeah. So I didn't learn at school. Others? Work? Church? Is that it? Cycling club. Thank you, Gareth. I can just picture you now. Lord have mercy on us all. Pardon? Choir? Oh. I should have been in a choir. I'm wasted in this job. Any others? Painting group, I heard. Football. What else? Book club. You're in a book club, Sarah? Oh, that's interesting. Yep. Swimming. All right, Ali, calm down. This is what I have to work with. You see how she shouts at me? Swimming. Brigades. Any others? Pardon? Family. Oh, you're getting a full lunch today, aren't you? That's the correct answer. Well done. If you were in trouble before the service, you're not now. Yep, any others? Pardon? Day centre. Yep, day centre's brilliant, isn't it? National Trust. Ooh, National Trust. Oh, I'd expect nothing less from Graham Brenton. I'll just put NT. There. Golf club. Yeah, that's a good walk wasted. Tennis club. Any others? Cricket. U3A. What is that? I just want to make sure I'm not going to get sacked for writing it up here. U3A. Oh, what's that women's one? The WW. WWI. Anyone in that? No? No one in that? Oh. WI, okay, yep. What is that? Is that women's institution? Is that what it is? Oh, no, I don't know. Neighbours. Yeah, everybody needs good neighbours. Because good neighbours become good friends, apparently. Sweet? Bowls. Bowls, did you say? Okay. Whew. Okay. Theatre. Well, you're actually acting in the theatre, or you go to it. Brilliant. Theatre. Yeah. Walking club. Okay, brilliant. All of those groups, and probably some more. How many of you are in at least one of those? How many of you are in at least two of those? 3? 4? Wow, 4 or more. Brilliant, well done. All of those groups. In all of those communities, at some point in time, there will have been a point where we didn't feel honoured, where we were hurt, where we felt taken for granted, or we were treated unfairly. That is life. Any group, any community we're in, there will be some point where we feel, oh. My mum, when she first came to church many years ago, thought that everyone in church was perfect. And I used to wind her up with my sister about it, don't you ruin it, Mum, because they've all got it together. You be the one that doesn't ruin it for all of us. But even in church, we felt taken for granted, hurt, overlooked. Ronald Rollheiser says this: all of us get hurt, that is a given. However, how we handle that hurt with either bitterness or forgiveness will colour the rest of our lives and determine what kind of person we are going to be. Suffering and humiliation find us all and in full measure, but how we respond to them will determine both the level of our maturity and what kind of person we are. Suffering and humiliation will either soften our hearts or harden our souls. Jesus faced this kind of challenge. In the Garden of Gethsemane, we read in Matthew chapter 26, then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, sit here while I go over there and pray. He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. Going a little farther, he fell on his face to the ground and prayed, my Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will. Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour? He asked Peter. Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. He went away a second time and prayed, my Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done. When he came back, he again found them sleeping because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away one more time and prayed, saying the same thing. Then he returned to the disciples and said to them, are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer. Jesus, his mental anguish in the garden is huge. Please don't beat yourself up if you ever struggle with mental health challenges, because Jesus knows that place all too well. In the garden here, he pleads and prays with God several times. If there's any way that I cannot be crucified, can we find another way? Please take that cup of death and judgment away from me. Because he knew that crucifixion was designed with two main aims in line, and they were to give someone the maximum pain you could and the maximum humiliation. Because it was an advert to everyone around you. If you do wrong what this person has done wrong, this is what will happen with you. So keep in line with the Roman authorities. Jesus wanted another way, apart from the depth of Good Friday, to get to Easter Sunday. The issue was not whether to die or not die, says one writer. It was about how to die. Jesus' choice was this: do I die in bitterness or in love? Do I die in hardness of heart or softness of soul? Do I die in resentment or in forgiveness? And Jesus chose forgiveness and a soft soul rather than a hard heart. At our last church, I had an operation on my nose. I tell people I had a nose job and they think, what? So I have to rephrase it carefully. But I had a block up there and they redid it. They got a hammer and a chisel in my nose, apparently, and just knocked it. There was a student doctor standing in the room, and afterwards I said to her, how was it? She said, I felt ill after 5 minutes and had to leave. And they said to me, you need 2 weeks off work. This is the biggest minor operation you can have. And I was off work, and a lady from our church came round with flowers for me. No one else was at home. She rang the door, I opened it, and she gave me these flowers. And she said to me, you might understand and be sympathetic to other people's pain more now. Here are some flowers. I don't think she was my biggest fan. I wouldn't be sending her again anytime soon on a caring mission to the minister. But she was right. I understand far more now people's pain. That nervousness of going into hospital, that counting back from 10 when they do the anaesthetic, that waking up thinking, where am I and what is going on? I'm far more sympathetic to other people's situation because of that situation that I was in. Depth and maturity often come from situations that we don't want to talk about, situations that we found humiliating, where we felt overlooked and dishonoured, where someone in one of those communities let us down or made us look stupid? Who here can think, even if we're in our 80s or 90s, of a time at school when we were made to feel that big? And it still haunts us. Does it give us a softness of soul or a hardness of heart? Humiliation makes us deep, but it can make us deep in very different ways. It can make us deep in understanding, empathy and forgiveness, or it can make us deep in resentment, bitterness and vengeance. My favourite sermon is 7 words. It was spoken by a minister at what was meant to be an hour-long talk, one of these proper talks, and he stood up and he said, "God is love and life is unfair." And that sticks with me. God is love and life is unfair. The American poetess and writer Maya Angelou wrote a poem, "When I Think About Myself." When I think about myself, I almost laugh myself to death. My life has been one great big joke, a dance that's walked, a song that spoke. I laugh so hard I almost choke when I think about myself. 60 years in these folks' world, the child I works for calls me girl. I say yes, ma'am, for working's sake, too proud to bend, too poor to break. I laugh until my stomach ache when I think about myself. My folks can make me split my side. I laughed so hard I nearly died. The tales they tell sound just like lying. They grow the fruit but eat the rind. I laugh until I start to crying when I think about my folks. This African-American lady who suffered abuse and was sidelined in so many ways doesn't take herself too seriously and would prefer to go deeper than the racist comments that are lined at her, the abuse that she receives. If you squeeze an orange, what comes out of it? What kind of juice? See, you're like, orange juice, Neil, what's wrong with you? Do you not know basic physics? Squeeze an orange and orange juice comes out of it. Squeeze you, squeeze me, in terms of being overlooked, humiliated. What comes out? Is it a hard heart or is it a soft soul? I can so often blame others when they're horrible to me and I react badly, but actually I don't need to react badly. I don't need a hard heart. I can have a soft soul. And that's a sign of Christian maturity. That when I'm overlooked, that when I'm humiliated, I can come back for justice, but with a soft soul rather than a hard heart. What will you choose? Hard heart or a soft soul?